everybody, and welcome back to Asagao Academy. Now, last time we left off, we were in the cafeteria about to get some grub. So let's see what happens. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped into the line behind taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed something that looked good. With full trays, Mai led me straight to a table in the back where a few students were already sitting. Mai sat down and I took a seat across from her. Hi, Mai. How was your break? It was good. I went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle. It's better now, though. Oh, well, that's nice. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends and Mai turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me in a practically minute-by-minute account about her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go further than a few salty kisses. I sat back and let Mai talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked at my Brussels sprouts and studied Mai as she spoke. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her. She had a high, songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic, her face twisting this way and that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seemingly unrelated to her actual opinion of them. But most notably, she talked. A lot. I didn't find this particularly annoying, as it filled the silence, and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as Mai was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked in on her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a flash of a familiar green caught my eye. I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper, just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train, that's him.
What?
Jared? Yeah, with the weird green jacket and swoopy hair? He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Oh, you. I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me. I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Really well. I found my roommate, and she's been helping me out. I gestured to Mai, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everyone was. Oh, look at her little blush, poor girl. She's almost cross-eyed. People stopped eating to turn around and stare at Jared and me. My shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need any help, I'll be around. Third year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Well, I'll see you around. Look at her face. I watched a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket? That's Jared. She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's the most beautiful guy in the school. Okay, just a minor thing. My fiance's name is Jared, so this is gonna be really hilarious, actually, and just hearing that. Oh, I can't get past that. That's funny. I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at Mai. Her cheeks were glowing an indecent pink. Why did they all wear those jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. They're... You know Jared? That girl turned back around and was looking at me with sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. We weren't friends or anything. But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt? Not really. Let's play safe here. Oh. She looked me up and down, sniffed, and turned away. Oh, shut up, bitch. Mai leaned towards me. Don't mind Mimi. She was just trying to get in with you. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys and their jackets, right? Those are their normal Boots Club jackets. They're what? What's a normal Boots Club? They look like fun. It's a club we have at school here. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They get together and play video games. Or something. That one right there is John, also known as Jontron. His bird's name is Jacques. The bird kind of looks evil, but I love the small jacket. I'm just saying. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Then there's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. He has the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. I've met him! Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. Then there's Satch Bag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the school newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone ever. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. Nope, I take it back. That's the best line. So, how would someone, join the Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you. What does that even mean? You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club, and they're like super selective. What are the boots? The club has this boots statue. It's like the one on their patches, but it's cold-plated. It's their mascot, I guess? They do this weird initiation ritual with it. Ritual? I hear they fill a room with candles and wear those totally creepy robes during initiation. This year 2 girl said she saw it once and they were all like chanting around the boots and it sounded like they were talking backwards. But I don't believe her. And even if it's true, I don't care if they're cold because they're all really hot. Do they have a lot of friends? Yeah, tons of friends. I'd say they're the most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or boy, for that matter. Hey, are you gonna eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed a plastic tray across the table to her. For the remainder of lunch, I listened to Mai talk about Jared through mouthfuls of half-dissolved frosting. Nom. Back to the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. Mai fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture. Hey, Mai? She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover. Yeah, this one. I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. Maya shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library? Maya riffled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, wow, that library, though. That's gorgeous. Excuse me a minute while I freak out over the beautiful library. Pretty. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library, but by the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected, the walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent behind the counter. Normal boots? I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
Can I help you? Too late. Yeah. The school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here? Which one is it? The History 309 textbook? He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. SATCH. Huh? Oh, you work here? Of course he worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year, and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at the row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out the book with the powdered wig man I saw earlier. Thanks. He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything. No, thanks. Copacetic. You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. Huh? Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The students snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. My hands started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? Eh? What do you mean? We were just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, Sorry. One of the boys held his hand out for the paper. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were... A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but... Geez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Sure, frickin'... Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks. I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Don't tell me they stopped because of him. Simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything, to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read? Oh, fiction? He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley, if you don't mind me saying so. He reached under the counter, pulled out a thick green book, and passed it to me. A man in black stood on the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can get tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head. Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name. I'm a transfer student. Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know how you like the book. I will. He likes you, Hana. That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing, like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot. I left the library, 2 surprisingly heavy books under my arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Maya was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes she released a long drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something wrong, Mai? She let out another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him? Maya whirled around in a feigned shock.
What?
I don't like Jared. Oh. I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No. I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this like it never crossed her mind before. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Satisfied, I picked my book back up. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana?
What?
Huh? Me? No. Never. Really? Never? Never. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. You're crazy. I buried my face back in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. I awoke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. Mai was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. The first day of school.
Hana!
Hana, you're finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife, and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's going to happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you. What does that mean? She winked.
What?
Someone like me.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. No, I don't. That's why I asked. That's why I was putting a question mark at the end of my sentence. She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh! What is it? You look so cute. Heat crept up my neck.
Yeah.
Yes, completely. Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung from the back of my eyes, and I turned to start packing my backpack. Why was I getting worked up about something as little as this? Must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. What an oddly menacing lap. Thud. All the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back. Ugh. You'll do just fine. Don't worry, this is going to be awesome. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
Huh? Maya stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book SATCH gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Yeah, let's go ahead and take it. If nothing else, it could be used as a good weapon. I put it in my already overfull bag, biting my lip. It never hurt to be prepared, right? You ready? Yeah, let's go. Hey, stick with me and you'll be fine. Maya opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Oh my! I didn't know we lived on the same floor. No way, really? That's so awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know. Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Maya's exclamations faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no, what would I do if we got separated? Anxiously I searched the crowd of girls for Maya, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart, and being so short really didn't help the situation. As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between the two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shooting through them. Well, when you have bolt red eyes, no freaking wonder. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside of Primrose House watching the flow of girls disperse across the campus. Maya was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached into my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom 206 Poppy Hall? Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of the campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late to the first day of class. As a third year, where no one knew me, all of the people staring. Hey. Whoa! But we're gonna have to figure out who was behind that hay next time. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I can't wait to see what happens here. I'm loving it. I really am. It's so exciting to be back into a visual novel again, and it's so well done. Oh, I love it. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought, and as always, I'm TC Robson. Stay obsessed.